Sphere and ɡriːd.
Announcing our theme, men's greed.
Bad luck, greed, drought.
Clarifies, cuts through, and captures the essence of the evolutionary spirit.
Let him be buried with the other victims of human greed and folly.
Greed have replaced decency and morality.
I see 50,000 men brought here to fight for one man's greed.
These friends use the good name of the church to feed their greed.
Survival's not fair. Oh, it's shit. Sphere and ɡriːd. They push through the bills of men. Shit.
And say, up with your hands. This is to stick up, thereby announcing our theme, men's greed. Now say it and let me hear the line.
Fight. Fight what? Bad luck, greed, drought. No point punching things you can't see.
No. Greed works. Greed clarifies, cuts through, and captures the essence of the evolutionary spirit. Greed, in all of its forms. Greed.
He was warned, and now he's paid. Let him be buried with the other victims of human greed and folly.
Larry Flint is a self-described leader. Lust, greed have replaced decency and morality. We must make a solemn commitment.
Well, I see them. I see 50,000 men brought here to fight for one man's greed.
Indeed, these friends use the good name of the church to feed their greed. If money was allowed
to influence the social agenda of the court.
What if the issue involved old-fashioned material greed? A case that involves a great deal of money.
Another man's wife is a pleasant thing, but sensual desire indulged for its own sake is greed, a kind of gluttony, and a misuse of...
Spell is nothing but greed. Speak to me, Lenore. Speak to me, my beloved.
Either we're going to let greed and corruption ruin our industries and our shorelines.
Due to the Nakatomi Corporation's legacy of greed around the globe, they are about to be taught a lesson in the real use.
For he is the devil's pawn, alone among God's primates. He kills for sport, or lust, or greed. Yea, he will murder his brother.
Word. Then give it after you have given me yours. Will your greed settle for nothing less, old man? Nothing less. We can take all of his people by force.
When you read the history of the world, you are reading a saga of bloodshed and greed and folly, the import of which is impossible to ignore.
That'll make the mayor move. Fear and greed, right? Yeah, but until the fire's knocking at his door, we don't...
I want you to be eloquent in this letter you're about to write. And guilt-ridden about your jealousy and greed. You could not live with yourself.
Army shall finally be conquered. Not by the Persians, but by our own greed and gluttony for water. This helmet contains our last supply.
Destiny of a great fortune is at stake. Men's greed spreads like a poison in the bloodstream.
That is precisely what happened. She did see the assassin, and it's because of her greed that she now lies dead.
Much good that does us. Be still. You should be getting more too then, shouldn't you?
We are not greedy men.
Greed has nothing to do with it. If I had more money to work with,
I could be growing this thing.
Our aspirations fall off one by one till the master passion, greed, engrosses you. Farewell, Ebenezer.
Not us. In our arrogance, our greed, look where we find ourselves.
We are supreme creatures made in God's own likeness.
The shit you've learned, fuck-ass, before I pistol whip you.
Okay. I believe in death, destruction, chaos, filth, and greed.
Cut the shit, Dan. Come on. Tell me what I want.
An imperialist country can use that kind of thinking to justify the economic greed. You know, human rights is
particular. It's just psychopaths who attempted to manipulate the news media for their own greed and egos. We at Top Story will never allow ourselves to be
Just a piss puddle of greed spreading throughout the world.
Make enough money off it the way it is just by calling it blue magic. Anything more than that is greed, son.
What do you want, Frank? I want to change the name on it?
I would have to...
Deceiver gave to them 9 rings of power. Blinded by their greed, they took them without question, one by one, falling into darkness.
And instead they're used to cheat, lie.
For personal gain or for greed, well then it's no longer magic. It's crime.
Destroy other human beings. But his own greed, anger, and folly. The forger and the user of the sword.
Parking lots, shopping malls. Greed has burned a hole in their heart that will never be filled. They will never have enough.
Imagine how the children in this neighborhood are being made to feel. The constant pounding of construction ringing in their ears as this skyscraper, a tribute to man.
They mean to take us as a prize. And we are worth more to them undamaged. Their greed will be their downfall.
Tired of living in the frat house I'd built for degenerates. I was tired of the greed. Mine, not theirs. Everybody.
Today, the needs of honest citizens are put second to greed and personal gain. Every day, this city...
We're betraying them all.
Well, but these people, you know, they had a little greed in them too. There was a little bit of, you know, and they